Coming up on Torrance Today, community members unite again in person for a 12-hour Relay for Life of Torrance event. Postal workers collect tens of thousands of pounds of food to help feed our neighbors. And firefighters welcome back Torrance residents to Station 1 in celebration of Fire Service Day. All this and more coming up right now on Torrance Today. Welcome to Torrance Today. I'm Christine Lee. It's 4 p.m. on Monday, May 16th. I hope you had a great weekend. Thank you so much for joining us. Here is our first story. Thousands of people gathered in person at South High over the weekend for the annual Relay for Life event, raising awareness and support in the fight against cancer.
I have lost family members. I have lost friends. But last year I was diagnosed with cancer, so it takes on a whole new meaning. So that's why I come out here. It is personal now.
Cancer just affects everybody. It doesn't matter who you are. It doesn't discriminate. So it's just a great way to fight back against something that's so awful. And it's just a really good cause that I feel like everyone should be part of.
This community-based event on Saturday was one of more than 5,000 Relay for Life events taking place across 20 countries. Participants here in Torrance got together from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. to take part in the opening ceremony, a survivor and caregiver walk, and a luminaria ceremony. The event concluded with a closing ceremony where participants committed to taking action and helping to fight for a world free from cancer. As of last night, Relay for Life of Torrance raised more than $173,000. They are raising funds until August to give. Google Relay for Life of Torrance and you'll be directed to their website. Saturday also marked the 30th anniversary of Stamp Out Hunger, a food drive organized by the National Association of Letter Carriers. It is one of the largest one-day food drives in the country, and Torrance letter carriers picked up more than 15,400 pounds of food for those in need and expect to receive more in the coming days.
The customers place the food at their mailboxes, and we, the carriers, we pick it up and we bring it back to our station. And then our station disperses of it to the local food banks.
I myself was a student who used a lot of resources. My husband passed away when my boys were really young, and so I went back to school, and I was able to reach my academic goals because I utilized a lot of the resources that were available to me. And so for me to be able to help other students is really rewarding. We have about 130 students each day, so that adds up to about 250 students each week for distribution for food and toiletries and basic needs.
The way the people react, the gratitude, the tears, it's an amazing opportunity. It's my first time, and I'm like a mile high all day, so.
Postal workers collected non-perishable food donations for hungry residents as well as local nonprofits. In 2019, the Torrance Post Office received more than 53,000 pounds of donations. Nationally, the organization collected 85 million pounds of food during their last drive, helping to make a dent in the roughly 42 million Americans' lives who are experiencing food insecurity. This food drive takes place on the second Saturday of every May. Torrance firefighters at Station 1 hosted their first in-person open house since the pandemic began, welcoming community members with fun meet and greets as well as a tour of the facility.
Usually they're going to meet us when they call 911. Our goal is for them to meet us to understand what we do and who we are in that non-emergency setting.
We got two little girls we brought down because they're always interested in seeing the fire engines when we see them in the street. So it makes them obviously more comfortable to get their hands-on experience.
Saturday's event was a special way of celebrating Fire Service Day. There was a display of current fire engines, a ladder truck, and ambulances. Visitors also had fun going through an obstacle course, squirting water with hose lines, and trying on fire gear. This event was a way for community members to show their support for the Torrance Fire Department and recognize their continuous contributions to fire emergency response, community fire risk reduction, and environmental conservation. Firefighters thanked everyone who came out and hoped the kids enjoyed their free fire helmets. Also over the weekend, the Public Works Department reached a huge milestone on a pavement project. Public Works Inspector Mark Simons worked overtime in the heat to make this happen with their contractor. You're looking at 1,400 tons of new asphalt paving at Plaza del Amo. City workers say this significantly completes the project. Remaining major activities now include roadway markings, signs, and general cleanup. Thank you to our Public Works Department for helping to make our streets safe and clean. City leaders celebrated the groundbreaking of a new senior living community here in Torrance. Acoya South Bay will be a 4-story building near the Del Amo Fashion Center. Mayor Patrick Fury says as the 8th largest city in LA County and the largest city in the South Bay, we are a premier destination that is close to airports, highways, beaches, and award-winning hospitals. The more than 175,000 square foot facility will incorporate a mix of about 160 independent and assisted living apartment units. It will also have semi-underground parking, multiple dining venues, a fitness center, a theater, a salon, a club room, and even an outdoor deck with a pool. Market researchers predict that by 2026, there could be more than 6,000 qualified senior households in the South Bay area. Construction is anticipated to be completed next year. The California Welcome Center turned 1 last month, and a lucky visitor won a special prize to commemorate the anniversary. Debbie Powers was the lucky winner of a Torrance beach towel. She was one of many visitors at the Welcome Center in recent weeks who entered a drawing for a chance to win this highly coveted prize. Debbie is part of the Toyota team who moved from Torrance to Texas a few years ago when the company relocated. We're told she recently retired and moved back to Torrance. So this towel is extra special to her, kind of like a welcome back gift. Congratulations to Debbie and to the California Welcome Center for turning 1. The registration deadline is coming up for another child safety class. The Utopian Society Project teamed up with the Torrance Police Department last month to host a similar safety class with young children. Now they will team up with the California Highway Patrol to teach kids and teens about traffic safety. The free program takes place on Saturday, May 21st from 3 to 5 p.m. at 3126 Pacific Coast Highway. Space is limited, so parents need to RSVP by this Wednesday, May 18th. You can email info@theutopiansocietyproject.org or call Gabby Fisher at 310-801-9462. LA County parents can become part of a special movement to keep their kids healthy during the pandemic. The LA County Public Health Department invites them to join a Zoom training called the Parent Ambassador Program today at 4:30 p.m. There will also be another training next Tuesday, May 24th, for Spanish speakers. Participants can learn how to keep their families safe from COVID-19 and ask any questions they may have about the virus or the currently available vaccines. They'll also receive a gift stipend and certificate for participating. To register, go to tinyurl.com/parentamb-register. We're getting some not so good news about Pfizer's COVID-19 vaccine and its effectiveness against Omicron. A newly published study shows that vaccine protection against the variant fades just weeks after second and third doses. The peer-reviewed research was published last Friday in JAMA Network Open. The Danish study looked at 128 people who got 2 or 3 doses of Pfizer's vaccine. Researchers say antibody levels, which are associated with protection against infection and disease, fell within weeks of getting the shots and were much lower than the level of antibodies specific to the original original version of the virus and the Delta variant. The proportion of Omicron-specific antibodies detected in participants' blood dropped from 76% 4 weeks after the second shot to 53% at weeks 8 to 10 and 19% at weeks 12 to 14. While Omicron-specific antibody levels increase after a third dose, nearly 21-fold at week 3 and nearly 8-fold at week 4, they started to drop as well, as early as 3 weeks after the booster shot and continued to plummet through week 8. Experts and regulators have broadly acknowledged the benefits of a third vaccine dose, but they're still debating the need for an additional dose beyond that. This finding could support drug makers' efforts to get an additional booster authorized, especially to vulnerable individuals. The ongoing infant formula shortage is prompting the U.S. Department of Agriculture to issue some safety reminders. Since a major formula recall 3 months ago, supply chain issues continue to aggravate parents who need this food supply for their babies. Families receiving formula through the Special Supplemental Nutrition Program are among those affected by the recall. Some desperate caregivers started to make their own formulas, and officials say don't, as homemade infant formula or watered-down formula could lead to serious health and safety consequences. Here are some more safety tips. Do not feed your baby cow's milk or other non-dairy milks until they're at least 1, unless you've talked to your child's pediatrician. Do not buy formula online that comes from outside the U.S. They can be counterfeit, have a fake label, or a wrong use-by date. Prepare and store infant formula according to the manufacturer's instructions. Properly clean, sanitize, and store infant feeding items. Always wash your hands when handling formula and feeding items, and talk to your pediatrician about introducing complementary food by 6 months and no earlier than 4 months. Officials remind all parents that only medical professionals are qualified to provide advice on acceptable alternatives to formulas that may be difficult to find. The Food and Drug Administration hopes to ramp up production of infant formulas again in the coming months. The agency reached an agreement today with Abbott, whose formula was recalled, allowing the company to resume production in about a month. Well, still ahead on this Motivational Monday, meet a couple of Torrance Girl Scouts who are teaching their troop about the art of jiu-jitsu and how it can help protect them from bullying. We'll be back in 60 seconds.
Sorry about that. No, I've been staying at my dad's place because of everything.
There you go. It's your favorite. It's chicken noodle.
He's good.
Oh, wait, Dad, wait, hang on.
Yeah, I know, we keep missing each other. I've been working out of my dad's house. Doing some reading. I should be working out more. I know it's important to stay healthy. It's just, I don't have the time. I just feel like I'm drowning.
Your turn.
In tough times like this, we know it can be easy to neglect your own health and well-being.
Dad, it's the girls. Oh.
What kind of dance is that?
But while you care for your loved one, you also need to care for yourself.
You look good.
Go to aarp.org/caregiving for free mental health and self-help tips.
At the end of every episode of Torrance Today, we want to leave you with a positive story from our community that fits the theme for the day. On this Motivational Monday, I want to introduce you to a couple of Girl Scouts who are sharing their love for jiu-jitsu and helping their friends to gain confidence while proactively preventing bullying.
They're trying for the first time ever. I'm really excited, especially since I'm going to be one of the people who lead them, just leading other girls to be confident and have more self-defense.
It helps me a lot with self-confidence knowing that if I were ever in a bad situation, if I was being physically bullied, or if somebody else that I knew was being physically bullied or just bullied in general, that I would have the skills and the confidence to protect them or myself.
I visited this group last Friday at Rodrigo Gracie Jiu-Jitsu in South Torrance. The girls showed different ways they can protect themselves should they encounter a bully. Off-duty police officer Stuart Scott and Rodrigo Gracie, a world champion and retired professional mixed martial artist, welcomed the newcomers to the sport alongside Caitlin and Jasmine. Parents say having positive male role models like these two are also important to their daughters. Many of these girls grew up together since elementary school, and it's great to see them helping each other to become confident and learn new skills that could protect them as they transition into a new phase of their lives. You can see more from this story in future episodes of Weekends in Torrance. Well, that's our show for today. Let us know if you have a positive story to tell by emailing us at torranceToday@torranceca.gov. Thank you for joining us. We'll see you back here tomorrow with more news from and for our Torrance community. Have a great day.